Greetings, everyone. Corey here, and time for another midnight review. And we went to go see Venom. um, First off, I mean, I wasn't expecting too much from this movie. It looked interesting. It looks, most of the promo stuff does at first focused on Eddie Brock. Then it went straight onto the Venom symbiote, which makes sense because the movie is called Venom, not Eddie Brock. But yeah, man, this movie is a bit of a grab bag of everything that you can do without Spider-Man, and doesn't quite work. So, I mean, it works enough to be somewhat entertaining. I mean, I'll definitely say the best parts are pretty much whenever Venom is on screen or whenever Eddie is talking to Venom. But up until then, which is a good about 45, maybe even an hour, about halfway through, I think he doesn't get the symbiote. Um, which when he does, then everything just like I said, when he before up until he gets the Venom symbiote, it's a little boring. It's interesting to see how they do the writing, the acting. Honestly, is not that great. Granted, it could also be because of the writing. It just everything. Um, it just feels rushed up until, like I said, he turns into Venom. And once he turns into Venom, it's pretty. It's fun. The symbiote is very, just them bantering back and forth is fun. It's funny. It's hilarious, especially when he calls the symbiote a parasite, and the symbiote takes it personally. He's like, "I am not a parasite. Apologize." And it's just like I said, that's the best part of the movie is that whole relationship they have, which I think they nail it pretty well. Granted, it is does feel rushed as far as the you know changing of Venom from I want to eat everyone's brains to I want to save the world from getting the brains eaten by my people. And it's like I said, it felt like halfway until he actually became Venom and had the suit, but I could be wrong. It could be a little sooner than that, but definitely at least I would say 40, 45 minutes until he for sure gets a symbiote. Which one, like I said, when he does, that's when the movie feels right. Up until then, it's like they're just trying to make a story that just works enough, but it could have been a lot better for what they were trying to do, what they were trying to change. Pretty much, they made um, little things here and there that they talk about New York. That Eddie Brock pretty much got canned from New York and almost like extradited, banished from New York, and now he's in San Francisco, which they made they pretty much made San Francisco seem like New York until you start seeing the super inclined, streets. Then you're like, oh yeah, this is San Francisco again. But pretty much any other scene that doesn't have like an inclined street, it feels like New York, and it's just crazy because San Francisco is totally not New York. It's quite different, but yeah, it's fun. I've actually been trying to do the Venom voice just because it's fun, but unfortunately, I am sick a little bit, so I don't quite have that phlegm to really get that voice. Even though I've been messing around with my friends, me Eddie, the way I see it, we can do whatever we want. But like I said, I don't quite have the phlegm right now for that because it's pretty deep, and it is nice that. Uh, oh my God, what's his name? The guy who plays Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, does the voice of of Venom, which is cool. It definitely feels like Venom. Like I said, it's just there is like I said, it's just it's a hard movie to talk about because it's not really it's good enough. Like I said, when Venom's there, it's almost great, but everything leading up to it, just the rewrites and everything, just felt half-assed. It just wasn't like they were trying. They were just rushed. It definitely feels rushed for sure, because I could have sworn like barely year and a half ago, I think they barely announced. They just started announcing the Venom movie or something like that. Maybe 2 years. And I mean, yeah, the CG and stuff doesn't. I mean, it looks good, but everything else just feels so rushed. Tom Hardy does. I mean, he does a really good job. For what he has. What else? It's just not. I don't know. It's just not. Like I said, it's entertaining enough, but it's definitely not a movie you have to go out and see. I did, go see it at the AMC. You get a cool little Venom comic, which pretty much just copies some of the scenes from the movie and stuff like that, and make it more, comic booky. Which I don't know if you call it rotoscoping. I guess pretty much the scenes that happen, but I do like the fact that there's no advertisements on the back, which most comics now you get an advertisement in the back. So I don't know. It's just the little things, but yeah, man, this movie is definitely suffering a lot. I think the one big part of it is just time, especially working without Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was a big central in Venom, which, man, everything just feels rushed. That's all it is. Like, the credits are pretty much like 15 minutes of the movie, which, I mean, the movie barely feels over an hour and a half, and that's pretty rough, I would say, for sure. There are some there's a mid credit and an end credit scene. End credit scene is just a scene from the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie that's coming out in November, which I'll definitely be going to see because it looks really cool and really awesome. The mid-credit scene does relate to the Venom series and hopefully what they're gonna do, but I will say the mid-credit scene is cool, but the actor that they chose, they could have chose someone else. I don't want to spoil it, but honestly, it seems like something we should. But I mean, I'm just saying, the actor was not right. The actor was not the correct choice for this, which I think says a lot for this whole movie overall. Is that, yeah, it's a cool idea, but the execution is not quite right. Or yeah, it's a cool thing, but not quite the right person. Or it's just, yeah, it's cool, but there's something wrong with it. There's always that but about that scene, and yeah, man, it's I don't know. It's a whole thing. I can see why a lot of the critics were harsh on it. I can see how some users will probably be harsh on it too as well. And it's enjoyable enough. I mean, for me, it's not a big thing because I have the AMC stub, so I'm pretty much spending very little to go see the movie, and I like doing these reviews because it just tries to help people out. But man, this movie, you could definitely skip it. Can't I can't 100% say go see it. If you're very curious and you don't mind spending the money on it, sure, check it out. You might enjoy. Like I said, you'll enjoy all the Venom parts, but everything else you're not gonna really care for. So that's that. Hopefully we'll have another video. I think in 2 weeks for movie reviews. I forget what's coming out, but I know there's something else that's coming out. So, like I said, end of the year movie reviews get a little bit further far and few in between. Not like the summer where I have like 2 or even at least 1 a week. So we'll see. Hopefully we get something other else. But until next time, guys. Later.